Welcome to Season 3 of Far Reach Voyages, where we share our love of sailing and adventure travel. About 7:30 in the morning, 13 June. We're about 22:30 north, 17 west. Wind's about 17, gusting 20. Sailed all night with full main and the working jib pulled out. Made 138 miles in 24 hours yesterday. And that was with about an hour hove to while I took the servo blade off the wind vane and adjusted the shock cord and filed some notches in it. I was tripping a lot in the sargasso weed. It's better now. So we lost about 7 miles. So we would have had a little over 140 yesterday. I just put a reef in this morning. Boat was surging quite a bit off of the waves and making 8.5 knots. Put a reef in and we're making 6 to 7 now. About where we need to be. Single-handed. I mean, double-handed, I could push the boat a little more, but I don't need anything getting squirrely. Mostly a quiet night. We've had really stable weather. No issues. Supposed to run out of air sometime tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow evening. Today's Thursday, so tomorrow, Friday. Took a round of star shots last night and also Jupiter, and I'll reduce those this morning. Pretty majestic out. Seas are 4 to 6 with some 8-footers in there, I guess. Not bad. See the cumulus clouds on the horizon starting to build. We might get some squalls this evening, but they're supposed to be to the north of us, so we'll keep an eye on these. See if they turn into anything. Was visited by a beautiful tropic bird yesterday. Very inquisitive, but shy. As long as I'm down inside the companionway, he'd fly down and try to peek. But if I came up topside, he'd fly off a little bit. Beautiful long streaming tail. Here you can see some of the sargasso weed. This is just a small amount. We've seen quite a bit out here. Boat continues to perform wonderfully. Got a good night's sleep last night, the most I've had so far. I got up every 2 hours, but I basically slept from, I don't know, 2200 until 6, getting up every 2 hours. Check the wind vane and our heading. Check the weather. Another beautiful day at sea. Downwind sailing. About, I don't know, 15 knots, gusting 18 to 20. If you look in the door raid, you can see the antenna for the HF radio, the external antenna. I just stow it in there and then I run it across the cockpit into the radio when I need it. A little sun awning I rig up during the day. I don't really like having big bimini's things on the boat all the time because I can't see the mainsail. But I can rig this up when I need it. Looks like a booby out there. Almost like an albatross. You can see him soaring down through the waves. I don't know what kind of bird that is. It's not a booby. Little day 4. It's about 0850. Still early in the morning. Wind vane doing its normal good job. Whoa, we slew around pretty hard there. That could be a combination of wind shift and waves, and there's a couple of bigger waves coming on now. That's probably all for now. I've got a book to read. Still day 4, Thursday, 15:45. Some sort of squally weather off to the northeast of us. Been watching it for the last few hours. It's closing on us a little bit. Right on the edge of a wind line. If you look back over there, you can see the wind's a lot lighter. But as you look across, over here, even on the back side, you're seeing a lot more chop, white caps. So kind of on the seam, I think. Seas were bigger for a while, probably 8 foot, some 10 footers in there. Nothing that big. Wind vane's doing fine. Making good time, about 7 knots average. I mean, we were hitting 8.5 and 6.0. The boat surges off the waves. She tends to slow down for momentarily on the back side of the waves in the trough, and then surges forward on the front side. Pretty dynamic ocean sailing. Having the pole up going downwind is a big advantage. It really spreads the canvas out, and it makes it easier for the boat to hold a steady course because the rig's better balanced. But having the pole out also reduces your flexibility some, your freedom of action, because you have to get that pole down pretty quick if you need to. And there's some gymnastics involved with that. Not too difficult, but there's a lot of pressure on it if you wait too long. And the pole has it's a lot more difficult to move the inboard end up the mast and get the outboard end down, and just a lot of pressure on it. Part of single hand, and it's just tougher. You know, you got to do everything by yourself, and be careful too. You can see there's some waves here, not that big, but it's like 6 foot. You can definitely tell the wind is backed off just a hair. You still have some remnants of whatever was driving these bigger waves. And then you can tell that squall has moved on past us on a parallel track. But we can still get the effects of all that vertical rising of the wind there. It goes up and it can come down. That's kind of what creates those white squalls. All that wind comes rushing back down once it gets cold. And it can land 15 miles away from the cloud formation itself. Let's keep an eye out for that. Well, that's it for now. Beautiful evening, June 13th, about 1950. Getting close to dusk, and about ready to take a round of star shots. I'll get Jupiter right back over there, Spica over there, and then Pollux back to the west. With luck, I'll get a good shot tonight. Seas have calmed down a little bit, maybe 14, 15 knots. Scrambled eggs and bacon for supper. Made 138 miles yesterday, including an hour of being hove to fix the wind vane. Expecting maybe about the same. Wind's backed off a little bit today. And I'm not pushing the boat hard at night by myself. Beautiful night. Three-quarter moon. Makes it easier to see the horizon, but a little harder to grab the stars in the sextant mirror. And we'll see how it turns out. In the next episode, there will, of course, be a lot more sailing, but I'll also conduct a walkthrough of the Far Reach both on deck and in the cabin. Storage where the engine used to be. If you enjoyed this episode of Far Reach Voyages, let us know in the comments. Also, consider liking and subscribing, as it tells us you would like to see more videos and it helps the channel grow. See you next episode.